Hello students, I hope you have watched the previous video on friction in which I have explained the four cases of friction, and we have learned the various stages of friction. And I want to explain the same concept by considering this example as well, in which a body is placed on an inclined surface. This video is very important. Why? Because in friction chapter we will be dealing with many problems in which body will be placed on an inclined surface. So you must understand these cases for a body placed on inclined surface. So we are taking the first case when the body is placed on the inclined surface. So suppose no external force is acting on the body. So what are the first two forces to show in the free body? The first force will be its weight. Weight will act in vertical downward direction. So that is marked as W. And corresponding to that weight there will be normal pressure, and normal pressure will always be 90 degrees to the surface on which body is resting. See the previous case when the body was resting on the horizontal surface. In that case weight was shown in vertical downward direction and normal pressure was at 90 degrees to the surface. So same thing we have to maintain over here as well. Surface is inclined, body is on the inclined surface, but still weight is shown in vertical downward direction and normal pressure is at 90 degrees to the surface. This is the first important thing to understand. Now in case of inclined surface, what you have to do, you have to choose one axis. In this case we have taken along the axis x-axis, along the surface x-axis, and normal to the surface y-axis. When you are dealing with inclined surface, same concept you will use. Along the surface you will consider x-axis, and normal to the inclined surface you will consider y-axis. Now you see there are two forces over here right now. N is along y direction, so it will have no other component along x direction. But if you see W is neither along x direction nor along y direction. It is at some angle to these two axes. It means W will have two components. One will be along x direction, another will be along y direction. So let us show those components first. So suppose here is the point, and from this point let us represent its horizontal component, or I can say the component along the x-axis, and another component will be normal to the surface, or we can say one component of W is along the surface along x-axis, and another component of W will be normal to the surface or along y-axis. Now arrowhead is towards the origin, so on these components also show arrowheads towards origin. Fine. Then we have to see the angle. Now suppose this particular inclined surface has theta as angle with the horizontal surface. So by geometry this particular angle will also be theta. It means this will be sine component and this will be cos component. So I will call this as W sine theta. This will be W cos theta. Now one thing to understand, in the previous case we said that if there is no component of the force along the surface, then there will be no motion. But if there is some component of the force along the surface, then that component may have the tendency to move the body. Now let us observe same situation over here. So this is the surface. So if there is some component of the force along the surface, then that component will have the tendency to move the body. Now you see W sine theta is the component of its weight, and this component is along the surface. That means this component has the tendency to make the block slide down the incline. So if the body is not moving, it means there is some friction. So let me show that friction here, and how I am labeling this friction. I am labeling this friction along the surface, or I should say tangential to the surface, and as this component is shown towards left, so we have to show friction opposite to that component, that is towards right. So let me label this as F. So if this system is not moving, this block is not moving, that means this component is balanced by the friction force. So this friction will be the static friction. Now one thing to understand, that in this case what we will do, we will apply a triangle law over here. That means let us say these two are the adjacent sides of a triangle and this is the closing side of the triangle. So let me show this as R. That is the resultant of these two forces. So I can say this is the total reaction, this is the normal pressure, this is the frictional force. So if these two, frictional force and normal pressure, if these two are the adjacent sides of the triangle, then closing side of the triangle will give you the resultant of these two forces. So we call that resultant as total reaction. Now the angle between total reaction and normal pressure, we call that angle as phi. So phi is what? It is angle of friction. Now over here, one thing to understand, we will now apply the third stage over here. In the third stage, we said that if we increase P further, its component along the surface with Px will also increase, and that will result into increase in the frictional force, and frictional force will reach to its maximum value, that is limiting friction or maximum static friction available between the two surfaces. Now same thing we will consider here as well. So let me represent this whole free body again. This is an inclined surface. So this is the body resting on the inclined surface. And one thing to understand, over here we were applying the external force, but over here no external force is applied. Only weight of the body is responsible for the motion of the block. So over here we said increase the magnitude of P, but over here we will say increase the angle of inclination. When you will increase this angle further, what will happen? The magnitude of this component will also increase. So over here, that's why a bigger angle is shown. So I am saying that theta is further increased. In the previous case we said P is increased further, but now over here we will say no external force is there, only weight of the body is there. So in order to get the third situation, but we will say increase angle of inclination further. So angle of inclination is increased. So what will happen because of this increase? Let me show the free body. So let us say this is W acting in vertical downward direction. So there will be a normal pressure N, and this is the horizontal component of W. This is the vertical component of W, let us say, or I can say this is along the surface, this is normal to the surface. So arrow heads towards the origin. So if this is theta, this will be theta by geometry. It means this will be W sine theta, and this is W cos theta. Now if we have increased theta, so this will increase this particular component. So if this component is increased, that means friction will also increase. So let us increase the length of the vector of friction. So let us show over here. So the tendency of the block is to move down. So we have shown in opposite direction, and this is tangential to the surface. So this vector is increased further, and suppose this is reached to its maximum value, maximum frictional force, limiting value. So these two are the adjacent sides of the triangle. So this is the closing side of the triangles, which is the total reaction, let us say, R. So at this point, this angle of friction will be called as phi s, that is angle of static friction. So this is the representation of the third case. Now after this we said if we increase P further, then Fm will no longer be able to counter Px, and motion will start. So in this case we will say if we increase theta further, then Fm will not be able to counter this particular component, and motion of the block will start. So let me show that free body. So theta is further increased. So this is the body on the inclined surface. Theta is increased further. So let us say this is weight of the body acting in downward direction W. This is the normal pressure N. So let us show its two components, one along the surface, one normal to the surface. Arrowheads towards the region. So if this is theta, this angle will be theta by geometry. So this will be W sine theta, and this will be W cos theta. Now when theta is further increased, what will happen? Motion will start. Then this maximum value of static friction or the limiting friction will decrease and it will be called as kinetic friction. Now this longer vector will decrease. Fine. So we will call that as kinetic friction. And you see, earlier this reaction, total reaction, was able to balance W, but now as angle is increased, W sine theta component is increased, so which has resulted in the motion of the body. So static friction is converted into kinetic friction, which is always lesser than the static friction. So this vector will reduce, then total reaction will also change its direction. So it will be like this, R. Now you see, this is no longer be able to balance W. So motion of the body will start. And this phi will be called as phi k. That is angle of kinetic friction. So I have explained this particular concept of the previous video by taking an inclined surface. So this concept you should keep in your mind, because it is very important as far as the Numericals of Friction chapter are concerned, where body is placed on the inclined surface. So through this example we have learned that kinetic friction is always lesser than the static friction, maximum value of static friction. And we have learned about angle of static friction, angle of kinetic friction, and it is the angle between total reaction and the normal pressure. Thank you very much.